Hello and welcome back to the Mad Men with a Box Book Club, where we review one of several books, I guess. What are books?
Who are books?
Why are books? What is paper?
Where are books? Your local library.
Right behind me. Some behind me up there. But they're not Doctor Who books. The Doctor Who books are right next to me. And the thing we are reviewing, we didn't even read it. We listened to it on Audible. It's more of an audio book.
Are you saying we can't do audiobooks and count them as books?
No, read them. Read what you can hear. Anyway, we are here to review the latest release in the BBC new series Adventures, which is Eden Rebellion, written by Abi Falaise, and since we listened to the version on Audible, read by Genesis Linear. Dope name. Genesis. That's a pretty dope name.
Right at the start.
Right at the start.
Oh, it's Harriet Arbinger from
it is?
Legend of Ruby Suit Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's right. But now, well, we're not talking about Legend of Ruby Sunday. Don't get me started. We're here to talk about Eden Rebellion. So, this was a weird one where it did not release around the same time as the previous two. This released physically on hardback on the 14th of November. The audio version was released about a week ago. No, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
About 2 weeks ago. Which it's weird. It says on here on TARDIS Wiki, it says 5th of December. I'm like, no, it's been out longer than that. At least 2 weeks. But I don't know. What do I know? I don't edit the TARDIS Wiki pages. I wish I could. You know, I made a jigsaw out of your life. Do you like that? But anyway, Eden Rebellion.
Yes.
As usual, I will let you go first. What are your thoughts on Eden Rebellion?
The best parts about this episode are this novel are I don't yeah, you're looking at me. But anyway, I think that the best parts are right here at the beginning of the story when you have the Doctor and Ruby coming in from an adventure. They've both just had a stressful time, but they're laughing it off. They're okay, and the Doctor wants to continue, and Ruby's like, "No, I want a proper vacation." And so the Doctor's like, "Okay, let me check you into one of the best resorts in the galaxy." And you get a lot of good character moments between the Doctor and Ruby, even exploring this alien planet. But after the first location that you're in and city streets and people are nice and friendly, oh, may the ancestors bless your way and all that. After that, it's just kind of a slog. I had no interest in the side characters leading our adventure. I preferred just the Doctor and Ruby having fun. That's the best part about this entire adventure for me.
Okay. I do agree that this story is a bit longer than it should be. Which is weird because it's only about a 208-page book.
Yeah, it's not.
So realistically, if you're taking your time with it, which should take about, depending on your reading level, I think 4 hours is perfect if you're just a steady pace, you're absorbing it all in. 200 pages, that's nothing. And then the version we listened to on Audible, the audiobook version, is also about 4 hours.
Yeah.
So that actually should be fine. But yeah, I do agree that it is a bit longer than it should be. Maybe, but the thing is, I can't really think of like what would I cut out to make it shorter. It just feels like it's a bit too long.
Yeah.
I found the setting interesting, like the whole like Gardens of Kubuntu.
Yeah, you have the crystalline planet. You have the galaxy bridge essentially that connects.
The space bridge that connects the two planets. The whole like the whole history and the culture of the planet, of the two planets, like I found fascinating. The whole like the wraiths, which we find out are actually like the villains in the end, which I feel like I feel like there should have been more of an allusion to that. I feel like it's kind of just like tacked on at the end. That is like, oh, they're empire. They're the first race that was created by Yewa's god, and they're jealous. They're jealous that the two different races that came after them were favored more. I feel like there should have been a bit more should have been put onto that. I think the side characters are fine. I didn't particularly have a lot of problems with it. I don't know. It's just it's okay. It's an okay story. Now we wait.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that this is largely a story that's I feel would have been better if it was just that beginning, because sometimes you get like Big Finish short trips like that, you know, that you just have small moments to go ahead and build the characters. I would have preferred if the entire adventure was that. I'm not excited by the wraiths even. Like for me, as soon as they showed up, I was like, okay, I've seen this concept as a villain on Doctor Who before, and it's just more entertaining there. Here, it's largely just a story that I didn't vibe with. I didn't feel like comparing to our last one, which what was the last one?
Caged was great.
I loved the aliens who were abducting aliens and pretty much observing them their entire lives. The big hamsters were adorable, and their developing culture was interesting. I think the culture here is interesting. The festival part, like I said, is entertaining, even with the Doctor and Ruby getting high. Right there in the middle of the beginning, just, whoa, I'm just moving with the vibes, man. But yeah, no, I'm trying to recall something unique about the adventure itself, but I can't. Like, it's just all faded in my mind.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm a bit more lenient on it. I think it's a fine story. It's just there.
It exists. And
yeah, nothing against the writer. I'm not familiar with their work, so I don't really have anything to like. Not really compare and contrast, but this is my first foray into their work, and I think it's fine for what it is. There's at least, like I said, they do. And I said I really like the whole culture of these species, and that's something they did really well in this story, like building up, like world building of this new alien race that we encounter. I think they do that really, really well. So that's something they're fantastic at. Just the story itself, it just feels too long, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So what would you rate it? Before you wanted to add something before.
Well, I was actually going to ask you, comparing this to the other two, because out of the 3 adventures, we have all 3 now that released. I wanted to hear what you thought was the best, but I guess we could do ratings first.
Caged.
Yeah, Caged.
Caged is the best. I'd say.
I had a similar problem with Ruby Red.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd put this on the same as Ruby Red.
Yeah, because
but the thing is with Ruby Red, I know that I have listened to stories written by Georgia Cook that I enjoyed way more better than Ruby Red.
I'll say
I don't know.
I'll say that I think that the side characters in Ruby Red stick with me just a little bit more, mostly because they were also like a time traveling race that ended up back on Earth during that time. So that was an interesting thing. So maybe I'm just, which sounds terrible because this entire story is basically about tourism and visiting cultures and learning about them. Maybe I just didn't care about the culture as much as the book wanted me to.
Wow.
I thought it was interesting.
Wow.
All right.
Typical white man. Typical white man.
But yeah, that's all I can really say. I think that's the problem. If I were to give this story a ranking, I don't think it's particularly bad, but I can't really think of anything that's saying that, oh, this is a really good story for us to go into. So maybe a 6. 6, maybe.
Yeah, I'd also give it a 6, like 6 out of 10. It's above average. It's fine for what it is. It is a bit too long. It could be shortened. How I would shorten it, I don't know. But at least when it comes to like this new alien race, its culture, its whole like, species and everything, I found that interesting, and it was built up well. And it serves a purpose to the story. It's not like, here's this alien species, here's what they do, and that's it. There's nothing to it. Like, the whole point of, like, this race's existence is tied into to the threat. Because you have the whole rebellion aspect of the tourism is killing our planet. We need to, and it's because of our neighboring planet. Their species have done this, and they're killing our planet. So we need to take it back. And then you have the whole aspect of like the first race is rebelling because they believe like why are we cast aside just because you're favored by our gods?
There's also I think that the Doctor does shine in those moments at the beginning when he's asking all these questions and he's trying his best to calm down for Ruby to give her that vacation she wants, but there's too many questions. They're all bubbling in his mind, and he's got to go ahead and ask. I did like those moments, but it's not enough to lift the story for me.
Yeah, and I will say that like that's something that I give a positive to this story book as well, as of like fleshing out a bit more of the Doctor and Ruby's like relationship to one another, because it's very lacking in the actual TV show. It is just the same note of they are friends and that's it. Like there's not much. Boom tries to throw something in there, but then it's reset by the next episode. So I'll give it that. We at least, we're getting a little bit of like
growth
with these characters, which was desperately needed in the actual show.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed we haven't had a. We did get mentions to what has happened in the show. That was good, but we aren't getting. Oh crap! What's her name? Susan Twist. We're not getting her everywhere. We're not even getting a mention.
I don't see how that can't work in written form. That is purely a visual thing, because the whole thing is that you see her and it's like, why is she here all the time? It can't be like, my name is Susan.
No, they don't need to see the person. Just like in Rogue, when they see the portrait. If you have figures like that or announcements, and you just have small figures like that, it can work.
I guess, but that's still also
you can be vague with it, but
that is still also a visual thing.
Yeah.
The whole like Susan twist thing is very visual based.
You can make it work.
I don't think it works on like audio or in written format.
That's where you're wrong. I know Big Finish is waiting. Susan, please.
Oh,
we need
God.
you showing up here. Just for
No.
a 2-second scene.
They'll bring the actress in and then someone will headcanon it. That's actually one of the Susan triad splinters. But anyway, 6 out of 10, 6 out of 10 for both of us. It's a fine story. There's nothing terrible about it.
No.
It's fine. It's okay. It's better. I'd rather, well, I would like good. I'd rather fine than terrible, especially in this era.
Yes.
But
I'm
Oh, you were gonna say?
interested in what they go ahead and do for the next round of
yeah, because we haven't got any news at all about what the next round of books would be.
No.
I will say though, I think this book has my favorite cover.
That is fair.
Like the cover for Eden Rebellion is, even though I think like the wraiths on the cover don't particularly fit their description in the book,
No, not at all.
because they're supposed to be faceless. Like you see an
Yeah.
empty void. In this one, they're the typical wraith skeleton look,
I don't know.
which is a cool looking look. It just contrasts with how they're described in the book. But regardless of that, fantastic looking cover.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think the cover is the best one on this one. But the best book was Caged. I think that's pretty much where we're set.
Yeah. But that is it for this review of Eden Rebellion. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Remember to check into any of our other videos. At the time of this recording, we are currently on break because of this guy here. You can blame him. Put in the comments, I hate Pixel, #cancel Pixel. But there'll still be content coming out while we're on break. That's all. We'll see you in the next one.
Oh,
Ciao.